You're looking at Enrique Tarrio on the left there. He is the leader of the Proud Boys, the infamous Proud Boys. But hold on, you probably have heard, like I did for a long time, a lot of bad information and wrong information about these guys. They're not white supremacists. How can they be? Enrique Tarrio, I believe, is Afro-Cuban. Anyway, he's going to jail. He's in some trouble for burning a BLM flag. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, Enrique Tarrio, welcome to Newsmax. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Greg. Thank you for having me on. You're actually really brave for having me on. But again, I thank you for that.
Well, no problem, but do me a favor. I'm a little bit nervous because, you know, when people say Proud Boys, look, I hate white supremacy. I know you do as well. White supremacy is stupid and bad and wrong. Do you agree with me? And I hate to give you a litmus test like this, but you know where we are and you know what's happening in the society, so take it away.
Definitely. I think any form of the isms, racism, anti-Semitism, all those isms that pretty much are prejudiced against people because of either their skin tone, their religious beliefs, their cultural background. To us, you're not welcome in the Proud Boys. To us, it's not about that. It's about ideology. We don't, in your application to be a Proud Boy, we don't ask you, what your skin tone is. There's not like a little chart. There's not, we don't ask you what your religion are. We ask you what your beliefs are as a man.
So, look, as you know, there's a lot of conflicting reports about who you guys are and what you stand for. So, you're Enrique Tarrio. You're officially the leader of the Proud Boys. So tell everybody, who are you guys and what are you all about?
In its most simplest form, we are a drinking club with a patriot problem. To get it more in depth, I mean, we're not a very focused organization like Second Amendment groups or groups that promote religious freedoms. We kind of have a broad spectrum of views. And, we don't have to agree as Proud Boys. We don't have to agree with exactly that, but it's based on our constitutional values, right? As long as we don't give way to any of those constitutional values, you're born a man, which is crazy that I have to say that in 2020. You're free to join the Proud Boys.
And what do you guys do when you get together? I mean, where do you go from there? Okay, so then what?
So we start at home. We start at the bar, actually. We get out of the house once a month. We're not people that are elites. You'll never see an impoverished Proud Boy. We're just working class Americans. 99% of what we do is just go out and drink with the boys. That's where it starts. The 1% is usually what you see on left-wing media sites where they say that we're like some violent crew, and we're not. We have provided security for many events, patriotic events. So,
for instance, like Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter gets hassled sometimes when she shows up at campuses to speak. I've seen a pie thrown in her face. She's really been harassed. I understand you guys have provided security at events like that?
Yes, we've provided security at events like that. It started, actually, our security, I guess, the 1% of things that we do, started in Berkeley back in 2017. And our guys are very active. In many accounts, we run for office. We knock on doors for candidates, and obviously, like we were just talking about, the most infamous is the security role that we provide. So, and it's always in events.
Okay, at events. So, for a drinking club, you guys have gotten a lot of attention. I want to go back to the presidential debate last fall, where everybody was talking about you guys. Take a look.
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
That was quite a moment. What do you think President Trump meant when he said stand back and stand by?
Well, that night was a night that changed my life and the life of the Proud Boys forever. To us, we didn't take it as like a rally call or anything. To us, it meant, stand by me, stand by the President of the United States, stand by Trump, which we have, and I have. Since day one, since he came down the escalator, I knew America needed change, and we've stood by the president. A lot of the left likes to say, "Oh, well, that's a call to kind of stand by in like some type of militaristic fashion." A lot of people think that we're some type of militia. We don't. We don't train in that fashion. We don't train actually at all. We just hang out with the boys and we love our country. And I think that that's why we've become such a threat.
Can I
working class getting together and fighting back?
My interpretation on that moment, if you don't mind, they say condemn white supremacy. And he's like, name a group. And then your group was thrown out as a name. And I think Trump actually was momentarily confused. Like, wait a second, they're not white supremacists. So that's why stand back, stand by was more benign than saying condemning you. You know what I mean? Because I do believe that he may have picked up somehow, because he picks up a lot of information, that you guys are not what we've been told.
That part of the debate was actually a very confusing part in the debate, because there was so much back and forth with Chris Wallace, and he asked specifically for the question of white supremacists and militias.
Yeah.
And we're not there, so I think that's where he got caught by surprise, and he's like, "Wait a second, no, I'm not answering this," and he just answered to the best of his ability.
Got to get back to your personal legal situation. Let's see here. Back in was it December? You were caught burning a flag, a BLM flag, in Washington, D.C. This is the moment right here. It looks like a BLM banner of some kind. My understanding is, let's see, you were charged with destruction of property and one count of attempted possession of a large capacity ammunition feeding device. You have pleaded guilty. You were sentenced Monday, 5 months in jail beginning September 6th. That's the situation?
That is correct. I don't condone the destruction of property that belongs to somebody else, but there is different rules for different groups, right? Like Trump supporters get the max, because I got the max sentence, basically in my case, where we've seen BLM and Antifa groups burn cities to the ground over the summer of 2020 and for the past 5 years and not get persecuted. I was a man about it. I said, hey, look, I'm guilty, right? But I wasn't persecuted because of the destruction of property, because it was somebody else. I got prosecuted because of the message that was on the banner. So that's a violation of my First Amendment rights, and also it's a huge violation of my Second Amendment rights for the magazines that went into D.C. that are legal across the country, and they are standard capacity magazines.
Standard capacity magazines. So, all right. Oh, I do want to ask a bit about you personally. Enrique Tarrio, I started off by saying it's reported that you're Afro-Cuban. Can you tell us about where you came from, where your parents came from, if you don't mind? Because a lot of people are like, Proud Boys, I thought they were white supremacists. How's this guy associated? You know what I mean? It's interesting. Anyway, can you tell us about yourself, please?
Well, my grandfather fled the communist country known as Cuba back in 1961. Because at the direct order of Che Guevara, 2 of my family members were put on their knees, got their hands tied behind their backs, and they were executed by the Castro regime. And they decided to come to this country. My grandfather was the first to come, with my dad being very, very young. And I've been instilled with these conservative principles and loving this country and the Constitution of this country. That's why it's a shame that what happened to many of the Proud Boys that are sitting and rotting in jail right now, including somebody that you just interviewed, Christopher Worrell, that has cancer and they're refusing his medication. What they did to me, as far as my 5 months, I'm doing short time. I'm not even worried about that. But I'm worried about the precedent that's set with me with 5 months and the rest of the Proud Boys, what they're going to do to them. In these cases, that is injustice. What's happening is injustice in this country. It's selective prosecution.
Well, listen, good luck in prison. It's going to be tough in there for you. And,
I'm a guy.
You're a tough guy. Yes, indeed. September 6th, you go away. Where is the jail?
I will be in D.C. jail for those 5 months.
All right. Does the Proud Boys leader position pay? Do people have to pay dues? Do you get a salary? Are you somehow compensated?
Absolutely not. And I think in my regular day job, I've taken quite a pay cut to do this, but I've never been happier in my life to continue to do so. It's been an honor to represent these guys. These are the best men I have met ever in my life.
And what is that day job, by the way?
I used to be a security contractor for 12 years, and now I am a glorified garment salesman, which basically means I sell T-shirts.
Okay. Well, it's interesting to learn about your group. I know a lot has been said about it. That's false. And but thank you for your time, Enrique Tarrio, leader of the Proud Boys, who will be going to jail. You know, September I thought was a long way away. It's basically next week, the week after. You're going away.
Yes, sir. And I'm happy to do so. Unfortunately, that if this is what it takes to show the world the bias in our system, then so be it.
All right. Good luck in there, and all the best. Thanks, Enrique, for coming on.
Thank you.
You bet. All right. Obviously, by the way, white supremacy is stupid and dumb, ridiculous, perverted, and I believe only a very small number of idiots are involved in that kind of activity. All right? I do not believe the Proud Boys are associated with white supremacy. I am convinced, especially after meeting their Afro-Cuban leader. All right? By the way, that individual is in trouble financially, in trouble legally and financially. www.tariofamilyfund.com for more information and if you want to help financially.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.